things. Actually, I do know.
Let's ask this question. If I, as a woman, were to come to you as a woman and say to you, listen, I love you, let's be friends. And because I love you, you are going to do my washing for the rest of my life. You are going to do all my cleaning for the rest of my life. You are going to cook for me anytime I'm hungry for the rest of my life. You are going to do everything for me. Wouldn't that sound crazy? That would sound crazy coming from a woman, right? But because it's a man and it's a marriage and it's a relationship, we've come to view it as normal. There's nothing normal about spending your life working for another person for free, doing labor for another person for free. And the part that drives me absolutely insane is that these men in these marriages, they will never cook for their wives. They will never clean for their wives. They will never do the laundry for their wives. There was a lady on this app who was saying that when it was her husband's turn to do something, he would do just for himself. When he was making food, he wasn't making food for everyone. He only makes for himself, and he goes and sits down and eats it in front of the whole family.
Mm-hmm.
And as someone who grew up with brothers, I've seen that too. When I used to cook, I used to cook for everyone at home growing up. But when my brothers make food, they make just for themselves.
Now that's interesting, because I also have a brother as well, and I love him very much. And I was raised to be a wife, and I was raised to be a submissive wife and somebody who would serve others. This is not a shameful thing. So she has a good point, because I think she's coming from Africa. That's where I hear her accent from. And women who are raised like that are raised to serve men. Her point is that she thinks it's not fair, because we are, as women, supposed to serve a man, cook for him, clean for him, take care of his home for him. And she's thinking, what am I getting back in return, right? She thinks it's not fair. It's a life sentence of servitude to be a woman in a relationship. And I push back on that, because it's like a spoon complaining that it was created to be a spoon. It's like a car being driven and complaining that it's being driven. It's like it's like you're complaining about the fact that you are created to be the tool you are, right? This is what I'm trying to ask you, my sisters. Do you agree with her? Because when you think of it, in the garden, when we were first created, the reason why we were created was to be a helpmate. This is what a woman is. You see, Adam was in the garden, good, but he was working, and Yah needed him to work. He hired him to cultivate the land, to do his thing, to take care of the garden, to dominate the earth. This is what Adam was created to do. And then Yah came along and said, it's not good for man to be alone. So he created a woman to help the man, not the other way around. He didn't create Adam to help the woman. And this is where this lady is getting it wrong. Our purpose for existence as a female is to help the male. I know it's going against everything that you've heard on social media, everything you've heard in your liberal university that you went to, all that stuff. It's not about a partnership. If you believe in the Bible and you claim to be a Christian or believer of the Torah, you got to go according to the scriptures, according to what we were created by the Creator to be. And then you sitting here as a woman complaining, if you're creating this woman, that he is not helping you. It's nice when he does, but it's not his job. It's not what he was created to do, right? He was created to protect us, though, and to dominate and to rule over the earth, which includes ruling over us, my sisters. But he was not created to be in the submissive role as you want her to be, as you're desiring to be. And this is why women are complaining, because we have the role reverse. We think either we are equal to Adam, the man, or we are supposed to be served an equal way. Like I cook for you one day and you cook for me one day. I work for you and make this X amount of money. You work for me, make X amount of money. We want equality in the home as if that is our role. It's like going to your boss and explain, and he hired you to be a secretary, and you complaining to him that he's not picking up the phone, he's not taking down the notes, he's not answering the emails. But he's like, this is your job. This is why you were hired for. So as a woman, this is our job. This is what we were hired for. This is what men go into relationships with us for. This is why they marry us, is to work in their field, is to work with them in their mission and to work as an employee for them in their mission. And you think, well, what is it for me, right? Well, first of all, you're functioning as you were created to be. So number one, you are acting in the role that Yah has made you to be in. Number one. So wasting your femininity away by working for another man when you're supposed to be working for your husband, something to be considered. Wasting your femininity, who you are, by acting as a man and seeking a career and job and doing your own thing independent of Adam, not for him, not for the man. It's you working against who you're created to be. So when you function in the role that Yah has created you to be, you will find peace. But when you don't, you will end up in the car wreck that the majority of the women today are doing. Yes, you're outside of your order. When you're working outside of who you're created to be, you're not going to find the joy and the peace that Yah gives you internally, the satisfaction, right? On top of that, Adam has a lot more to offer you. And I say Adam in place of man, right? Men have a lot more to offer you than you realize. The protection, the guidance, the love, the security. They build the infrastructure, the computers, the keeping the lights on. When the plumbing is broken in the house, you call a man to come and fix it. When the car is broken down, you call a man to come and fix it. Men are useful in many ways in our lives, but on top of that, we cannot survive in this world without them. We need them for protection, for guidance, for all that. So Adam was necessary for Eve. You notice that Yah created her within an environment where Adam was already there, capable to take care of her. So it is a win-win in that regard. We are not meant to be independent of Adam. And all these women boasting as if they don't need Adam are using, and Adam, I say, i.e. man, are using the internet to do so, using the telephone, telecommunication system to do so. And who created that system, my sister? Was it not men? The same men you say you don't need? Who keeps the power running so that you can use the internet and use a microphone? Who created this microphone? It wasn't a woman engineer, most likely not. It was a man. The same men that we say we do not need, I don't need you, we're on their devices complaining that we don't need them. And when it's broken down, we go to the male technician to fix it. Make that make sense. We need men all the time, but the enemy has made you think that it's not fair. And it's the same lie that he had, the enemy being the devil, the evil one. The same lies that they had in the garden are being repeated to the daughters of Eve right now, that we don't need Adam, and it's not fair that Yah created us to serve Adam. But I'm going to listen to her again. Just continue complaining.
Okay, so this arrangement between men and women, it is not love. This is not love. This is a form of servitude.
Yes.
You know, I don't want to say the S word because I might get but it is slave, you know. That's exactly what it is. Because think about it. If a woman were to ask you to do that, you would find it as weird. You would find it insulting. How dare she asked me if I'm going to cook and clean for her for the rest of my life.
Actually, she's right. It is servitude. It's a bond servitude, like biblically bond servitude. And I guess we have become so separated from that concept that we've forgotten in the West what it was like to be a servant. And women and men were servants in the Bible days, and it is biblical actually to have servants. It's just the transatlantic slave system in America and around the world that has gone away from the Torah way of doing that, has perverted it. But that's a different discussion, right? All through all cultures, there has been servants, and some are bond servants, which means they voluntarily dedicate their lives to serve. And in a way, when you get married, you become the bond servant, like the committed bond servant to the man. You say, all my life, I'm going to commit to you. I'm going to dedicate to serve you. She's absolutely right in that regard. But the thing is, she's twisting it as a negative, not a positive. And if you're a believing woman, and this channel, Call for Wisdom, is for sisters. I'm not speaking to the men, okay? I'm speaking to sisters, not the brothers. We believing women want to follow the pattern of Yeshua, Jesus. And he came down to be a bond servant to us. He came down from his status and lowered himself into a servant to serve us, to die for us, to redeem us from our sins. And we know that. So if the Father has sent his Son to do that, how dare I think that I am too high and mighty to serve my husband? to be a bond servant to him, to have a servant humble heart. The enemy is going to classify this as being controlling, as negative, but it is not. If you want to be great in the kingdom, you have to be the servant of all, minus the claws. Yeah, you can skip the nails, cut them short, because there's no reason to fight the man. You're not competing with him.
But when a man says it, when a man is saying it, it's fine. I mean, there's a lady I follow here. I think her name is, oh my God, I forgot her name. She said, we look down on cleaners. We look down on maids and cleaners.
Why?
Right? When they're getting paid to clean people's houses. But if you're doing it for free for a man, now suddenly it's the top thing. That's crazy, guys. This comment is so true.
Oh, well, let me know what you think. Do you think it's true that marriage is crazy business for women? I don't think it's true. And I don't look down on my cleaner. Actually, I do have a house cleaner. She's awesome. And she ever watches this, I love you very much. She's awesome. It's our Western society viewpoint to think that people who are humbly doing the dirty jobs are somehow beneath you, right? So we look down in the West. It's not everybody, but a lot of people think that having a blue collar job is beneath them. Having a job as a cook or a cleaner or a garbage collector or a gardener is beneath them. Nobody wants to get their hands dirty. Everybody wants to be the boss babe. Everybody wants to work in the office and have a CEO position and be a lawyer or a doctor, blah, 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 blah. But nobody wants to be the servant and do the dirty jobs. But in the kingdom of Yah, it's the opposite. We have to learn to serve. You remember when Yeshua, before he left, and there is a scene in the Bible where before he left, he washed the disciples' feet. And he knelt down. He, our king, knelt down and he washed their feet as a servant. This is the attitude that we should have as wives, to serve our husbands humbly, not doing it to get something in return. If anything, you get your reward on the other side, my sisters. Doing it because this is what Yah created you to do. Doing it because this is an act of love, sacrifice. This is how we show our love and reverence to the Most High. When we fall in the order of which he has created us to be. First, there is Yah, God Almighty. Then there is Yeshua, Jesus, some call him. And after that, in the order of the hierarchy of the kingdom is the man, who has the covering over the woman. So we're right down there. We are the servants. This is the role that Yah has put us, with the head over us being our husbands, being our men. And if you think it's crazy business to commit to that, well, you're fighting against who you're supposed to be, who you're created to be. But again, I'm going to talk more about this on my channel, Call for Wisdom, which I'm always trying to encourage women to do. I want you also, if you're struggling with this idea, to buy my book. And it's called Stop Talking to Serpents, A Woman's Guide Back to Biblical Marriage. And I'm just going to tell you right now, heads up, you might not like it. You might hate it, actually. Still buy the book. If you're a feminist, buy the book. I dare you to buy the book. Buy it because you're going to fight it, because in it, there's biblical scriptural proof of what I'm just talking about, backing up the statements I just made in this show, that Yah has put us in this order for a reason, and we fighting against it's going to wreck us, right? Coming back to biblical marriage, understanding our role and our function is key to our salvation. It is a salvation issue, because when you don't function in the role Yah has put you in, you're going to be held liable of that when you get to see the Father face to face. He's going to ask you why you didn't fulfill the role I put you in on this earth. But buy the book, okay? And for you sisters who are just tempted to divorce the man because you're listening to the serpent, like she's saying, this is not fair, I can do better, I don't need to be a servant, I can do bad on my own, and then you go and you burn up a good home. And you start leaving, packing up the kids, and you take the kids away from him, because you think that you can do better on your own. And then you start suffering out there, complaining, going on the internet about how bad men are. Before you go down that stupid path, again, like all the other millions of women are doing, buy the book. Come back to biblical marriage. Come back to the way that the Father has planned for us. I just beg you, my sister, don't do that. Don't burn your house down. Don't divorce the man. And again, I have a chapter in this book called Don't Divorce Adam, why you can't do it, why you shouldn't do it. And then there's brothers who are still hanging out, supporting me. I really appreciate you at the back. This is not for you, but the book is for your sisters, your wife, and your daughters. Okay, so buy it for them. It will help them realign themselves to the Most High if they really want to do that. Follow the path. It might also get you No bonus points whatsoever. You might want to just drop it on their desk and run, kind of ring the doorbell, leave it there like an Amazon package and take off, because it's not going to make you any friends. I'm really honest with my sisters here about where we are at and where we're supposed to go. You might not want to go there, my sisters, but we have to get on board. We have to, if you want to get into the kingdom. Learn to function as a woman, learn to surrender as a woman. And this is what the book's about. Now, if you want a one-on-one consultation with me, I'm found on Clarity FM. You can look me up in the description below with the link where I give one-on-one sessions of counseling to sisters. There is a fee for it, but it's very reasonable. And you can look that up. And my book is available on our website. You can go to callforwisdom.com and also just follow the link below to buy the book. Thanks for hanging out with me for Call for Wisdom. I'm going to give a lot more episodes coming soon. Thanks for your support, everybody. And I'm just asking you again, do you believe that marriage is crazy? Is a crazy idea for women? Let me know in the chat below. Take care. Bye, sisters.